Hey, welcome back and thank you guys for tuning in. I'm actually really excited because I'm gonna be checking out this new update that Akai just dropped. There's actually two new plugins, the Mini D, which is like a bass synthesizer, and also the AirFlavor Pro, which seems pretty interesting. I have not really messed with it. I just downloaded the update yesterday. But right now, we're just gonna cook up a beat and start messing with AirFlavor Pro. But before I jump into it, I wanna just say something really quick. I've been getting a lot of DMs with people asking me, how are these updates? Have there's been any bugs or any issues? I don't know. I'm gonna speak for myself real quick, but I wanna make sure I say this. I have not ran into any issues with any of the updates. The only one issue that I have ran into, I actually addressed it in my channel, and it was a minor issue when it came down to the slicing. It wasn't really a big deal, but they did fix that update. But again, one thing I do want to make clear, my workflow in the MPC, you guys have seen me working on the MPC. I just sample, chop up samples, put some drums, add some bass, and that's pretty much it. I don't hook up any MIDI. I don't really use a lot of the instrument plugins, so I'm not sure on that side of the MPC, but speaking for just chopping up samples, adding drums and bass, there is no issues. I have not ran into any problems. It's been very solid for me. I just want to make sure I get that out there. All right, so with that out the way, let's jump right into it and see what we come up with. Real quick, I'm gonna go into my browser. I actually have my SD plugged in the back. In this SD card, I'm actually excited. I have this msxaudio folder that I just downloaded. There's some one-shots right here, or just samples that sound amazing. I'm actually exploring as we go through this video. And if any of you guys are feeling frustrated and having problems with mixing and mastering, I got a little secret for you. Get some good samples, get some good one-shots. I promise you it's gonna save you a headache once you're mixing and mastering. Oh, I'm gonna get this kick. Let's get that snare roll. These are actually some one-shots from some live drum kits. And I love live drum one-shots. Those are like my favorite samples to put on my beats because they just have this character to those sounds that fit and blend very nice with sample-based production. And now I also downloaded drums out of the SP404 Volume 1. Yo, that sounds really nice. That's like a snare roll. Let's put that right there. This is the type of textures that I'm looking for when I'm dealing with samples and I'm grabbing records from vinyl, because if you got a dirty, grimy sounding sample and then you put some very clean one-shots, I don't know, it sounds a little off balance. So I like how these sound. They're ready to go on top of samples. Oh, that sounds nice. Okay, so we're loading that up right here. Are you serious? Yeah, of course I'm gonna load that up. Of course, some snare rolls. I'm always throwing some snare rolls somewhere in my sequence. Okay, so now that we have some drum one-shots, let's jump in and check out some melodic samples. I actually also downloaded some sample packs from their website. This is more like melodic samples, but I have not checked them out. We're actually gonna listen to some as we go through and build this beat. Yeah, that's smooth right there. Yeah, that's cool. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. I'm gonna go from trim to chop. I'm not gonna manually chop this up. It's just really not a rhythm going on, or this is nothing that's in beat. I'm gonna just go into region and put this into 16 slices, shift, convert, hit do it, and let's just play with this right now. Oh. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having a good time right now, but I don't know if it's the coffee that just kicked in, but this sounds bad. Okay, I'm tapping out the tempo. I'm about at 80 beats per minute. I'm having fun. I'm having a real good time. Let's go ahead and lay this down. Oh man, all right, now let's go back to our drums and let's start putting some drums on top and see what feels right for us. Let's go ahead and lay these drums down. I'm gonna turn off quantize for these drums and all right, so that's what I'm talking about. You got certain textures that just blend well. And going back to what I said about mixing and mastering, like this right here, you guys notice I'm just adjusting volume levels. I'm not doing no crazy compression or EQs. If I am going to add an EQ, it's gonna be for a creative purpose. I'm doing my best to mix with just sounds that I'm selecting. Now let's go ahead and add some bass. As a matter of fact, I'm actually excited to go through this folder because I also downloaded a bassline volume 1. This is actually really cool because I noticed with these bass lines that they have, these bass lines, you'll hear that they're actual like grooves that they're playing, but there's a bunch of empty space that you could go ahead and select a small selection of one of these bass notes and put that in a key group and start performing that to whatever you want. I'm actually gonna hit play, and as I hit play, I'm gonna try to look for a bass that sounds close enough to the sample that I have chopped up. Oh, actually this one is, let's keep listening to some other bass lines. You see, there's a bunch of little shots that you can play with. One thing that I recommend is so funny because I've been using one bass sample for the past 2022. We're in 2022, right? I got one bass sample in my SD card, and I promise you, that's been the same bass sample that I've used throughout all my music. I would highly recommend this bass sample pack because there's just gonna be enough for you to play with for all your beats. Like I'm telling you, all you really need is one good bass sample. I'm gonna go into my sample editor and I'm gonna select this bass note. As you can see, there's an entire performance, but I'm not going to use that performance. I wanna make my own performance. I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in and select this long note that he just plays. Like, that's all I want. I'm gonna process that, discard. Once I have that, I'm gonna go to 16 levels. I'm gonna turn tune on, and now I have that bass note. I start playing my own melody on top of the beat. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Okay, so I'm really feeling that right there. Let's jump in right now to our sample. And I've not checked this out. I'm actually gonna listen to it with you right now. Let's load in that new plugin. I think it's AirFlavor. Again, I downloaded the trial, the AirFlavor Pro. I downloaded the trial version of this, so I have like 9 days left to test this out. I'm actually gonna play it without AirFlavor Pro so we can just listen. You know what? I'm gonna solo that sample. Hit solo and let's listen without AirFlavor. I'm gonna turn it on. Yeah. Going through some of these presets right here. Yes. Got a little bit of distortion right there. I can bring that down a bit if I don't want that much. Okay. Yo, the really cool thing right here is that I see you got your pitch, distortion, digital, vinyl, volume, timbre. You can actually go into all of these settings and you go to distortion. This is just the distortion section, your digital section. If you want to go ahead and add some more artifacts, this is that. Okay, I know what you guys are asking yourselves, and I know where this is going. I'm going to try that right now. I'm going to skip over this. This is actually really cool because it gives you a bunch of presets that just kind of get you right in a certain feel for that sample. I think I'm really big on that. If something could give me the convenience of allowing me to continue to go through my beat making workflow, I'm all for it. I don't want to go in menu diving and start putting a bunch of settings and go into the LFOs. And I could do that, but I want to use these presets so I could just continue the creative side of my workflow. After, I want to know how this plugin will sound on our master bus. This is, I don't know how this is going to come out, but I'm very intrigued with this because I love my SP404. My SP404, I do not make beats on my SP404 because I have an MPC and I just much rather sequence, sample, chop with the MPC. But the SP404, just nothing comes close to the sound that it will give you. Now, the 404 just gives you so many cool effects. But one of my favorite sounds on the 404 is like tape simulation, some of the compressors that it comes with. Like that right there is something that I can't compare with anything else. I actually want to see how this I'm going to put this on our master bus and let's see how this sounds. Yeah. Now, I have my intensity all the way up. I can bring down the intensity. Oh, I would definitely rock with that. Now, I'm just pushing these settings very drastic so we can listen to what it's doing. Now, I'm obviously crushing the sound and I'm just exaggerating everything right here because I want to make sure we can hear it together, but I already know. I'm not jumping deep into this right now, but I'm going to sit down and really explore some of these settings and do a follow-up to this video because right away, I know this is actually going to work really good on our master bus and just trying to come up with a preset that's going to work something similar to tape simulation from the SP404. This is very, very close. The AirFlavor, the first one that they had dropped not too long ago, that was cool. I actually like what it did. I will use it every now and then on some of my samples, but I wish it gave us a little bit more settings, kind of like what this is giving us right now. So this is really cool that we have this. I'm definitely gonna pick this up. I think this is like $60 or $70. I'm going to go ahead and do this one for sure. And MKII, that's the other synth plugin. That sounds really good because bass is so hard to get when you're dealing with samples. That's not an easy task. I would highly recommend MKII. That's been probably my favorite bass synthesizer that the MPC gives us. And also, if you guys want bass samples, check out some of these sample packs from msxaudio. I will leave a link down in the description if you guys want to check those out. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This video extended a little longer than I was hoping for, but I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give this a thumbs up. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.